Hey guys, Frankie here. It's time for the weekly collective. Let's see what will support us this week. Not sure where this came out. So that's the Chariot with the Page of Cups. I love this card, this image of a fish jumping out of a cup. It really has this gorgeous sort of reminder to stay open to surprise, and I think the best way to do that is being curious. You know, when you've got a fixed idea of how something turns out, it's just not as fun. Yeah, so try and stay loose and curious as you pursue your goals this week. I mean, the Chariot is full on, like all systems go. I always like to talk about it as your conscious and your unconscious on the same page. So all parts of you are going for the same thing, the same goal. Yeah, there's this really lovely feeling of a new project, or maybe even good news that is joyful, maybe even brings you money. Yeah, but it's like your own personal judgment day, where you really look closely at the things that are happening in your life, and you kind of do your own sorting, good from bad, like what's working, what isn't. Yeah, that's really interesting. And I think what we're moving away from is this win-lose way of thinking, where if you think of win-lose type of thinking, the Five of Swords, as you win the battle but you lose the mates, or you are sort of isolated by your way of thinking. Yeah, and then we move on to the King of Cups, which I really like. I feel like you're really in tune with how you feel, and when you're coming from that, it's really something to celebrate. You're really, you know, you're not looking to others for your emotional nourishment. You sort of know how to take care of yourself. That doesn't mean you're not surrounded by loved ones, but I think it's really important to have your emotional needs met by yourself first, especially if you know, this kind of thing can bring a kind of, hang on, I need to stop everything and contemplate. I need to sort of maybe look at the world in a different way, or give myself a pause so I can have access to the space I need to think new thoughts, something like that. Because I think once you do, you have this gorgeous, soft but clear sense of the way to move forward. You feel really guided on how to move forward, but not in a way that leaves you exhausted, in a way where you just feel sure-footed, because you know how you feel and you know what fulfills you. I might just get another card on that one. Two of Swords, yeah, it's a reminder to ask yourself how you feel, because pushing forward with a plan you think up can leave you sort of feeling unfulfilled and maybe even a bit exhausted. Yeah, so I think the message is listen to what gives you that gorgeous feeling of emotional fulfillment, or like I was saying at the beginning, that lovely inquiry that's curious and maybe even a bit childlike. It's going to be the really, you know, like trusting, that, you know, like you can almost call it childlike, just really trusting your own gut. It's going to be the way forward. Okay, that's another question. But yeah, maybe about this Judgment card. A bit of clarity on that. It's a big card to get. King of Wands. Well, he's sort of known as the entrepreneur in the deck, and the kind of person where the buck stops with you. And I think that is the Judgment card, is just calling it. This works, this doesn't. And free up your energy from maybe things that you've had trouble letting go of. If you come in as the King of Wands and let go of the stuff that's not working for you, you're gonna have more energy. Now let's see. I think I might ask one more on this Hanged Man, because it's a kind of interesting one to get. Do your best not to fight that. And the best advice is just don't overfill your diary. Just leave some space for daydreaming. Nice to be told to do that. Okay, let's see a bit more info on the Hangman. Because if we don't make space for a pause, I think what happens is we run the risk of doing the same old thing with the same old result, and maybe even getting into a suffering cycle. So, you know, sometimes in life there's like delays, you know, people getting back to you, and instead of getting frustrated with them not getting back to you so you can't move forward, instead sort of give yourself the opportunity to pause and give yourself the same respect as you would someone else that doesn't get back to you. You also give yourself that grace period to really check in with yourself. Am I going in the right direction? I'm just going to take some time out just to do a bit of a accounting in my life. This works, this doesn't. But a spiritual kind of accounting. Yeah. This seemed like a good idea 5 years ago. Does it still feel like a good one now? And this may be in particular with projects that involve other people. Yeah, definitely. I think it's saying abundance through like an abundant new beginning comes through sort of bringing that childlike trust, spontaneity, exploration, like playfulness is the way forward. It's the opposite of this, where it has to be this way, otherwise you don't want to do it. Yeah, so free it all up. Clear the space so that you've got the chance to see the fish jump out of the cup. Okay guys, enjoy your week.